Alright, Working Class Tools here. We're going to talk a little bit about tape measures and which one do you buy? Because I feel like there's a large variety of brands here and they all do the same thing, but this doesn't even really touch the market as far as brands go. There's so many different available options and it can be hard to choose which one you buy. I think that something to look for when you're buying a tape measure is what type of work are you going to be doing. Do you need it to have the fractions or not? Do you need it to have a long standout? Should it have a magnet on it to stick to metal surfaces? Do you want it to be auto locking or manual locking? The auto locking tape measures are pretty convenient when you're by yourself and you're trying to measure something a distance away. I mean, that can be one of the most annoying things about trying to get a measurement of something is trying to get the tape measure to stick to whatever you're measuring, and it just keeps coming back and keeps slipping off and it just keeps retracting. But you don't have to really worry about that with the auto lock because they just stay out till you push the button, right? So I've been EDCing the Cobalt 16 footer at work. Carry that one on my hip all the time. I got the Hart one that I've had for a couple years. I actually don't really have any real complaints about the Hart. It did have a rubber grip on it that ended up wearing off, but like I said, it's a couple years old. It gets used in industrial maintenance setting, hot presses, and it's been sat on a hot press and hasn't melted or anything. I really can't complain for the price point. My only complaint is the backside, which I don't really use too often, would be is that the numbers are wearing off there. I'm guessing it doesn't have any kind of coating on it. Some of them are nylon coated, or I think this one's like got a mylar. It's not this one. One of them has a mylar coating on them. Most of them don't state what it is, but I think you're gonna have the best standout, and that's what I mean by that is how far can you put out the tape measure before it just collapses on you, right? The fatter ones, like the Fat Max, the thickness here, the width, the standout's going to be much greater on a fatter tape measure than, say, compared to one of these skinnier ones or skinny Stanley. So even in the 12 footer you got thickness difference there. So let's just put this out first. So obviously the smaller your tape measure is, typically the thinner they're going to be. I don't know if that's really a good comparison, but so yeah, I mean, there's just different features on most of the tape measures. Obviously they all do about the same thing. Something I like to look at is kind of how much play they have in the little end there. That sometimes increases over time with use. You got some that either have the 2 rivets or the 3 rivets in there. There's even some brands that are doing 4. The Fat Maxes are pretty solid choice. This one basically has, this is the 25-foot Fat Max. It doesn't really move at all. I got the Milwaukee and the Stanley Fat Max that have the magnet on them. I think the magnet is a convenient feature to have. Say the Milwaukee doesn't really budge at all. What I like about the Milwaukee, which this one doesn't have the fractions on it, but you can get it with the little cheater marks. I like that the numbers are printed so boldly on the Milwaukee. So in comparison, we got the Fat Max, made by Stanley, and then the DeWalt, and then we got the Milwaukee. You can see how much more bold those numbers are on the Milwaukee. This has been one of my favorites at home. But yeah, those are just some things to maybe look for or help decide which tape measure you should buy. Obviously, budget is a determining factor. But you can get the Come Along brand at Myers if a hardware store isn't open, or the Hart one at Walmart. I think the Husky is kind of neat. This little 6-footer. I don't know if they make these anymore. This one has, so maybe you need a metric measuring there, which this one has centimeters and inches on it. But I like that this one has the little push lock on it, but then it also has a button right here on the side. It acts as a brake. So kind of like the auto locking. Get away. You got the Bauer. I mean, it's a pretty affordable option. It's very similar to the Come Along. This one doesn't have the fractions on it either. I mean, it functions. It does its job. It's got a lot of play in the end, though. So if accuracy is something that you're after, I'd maybe go with Milwaukee, the DeWalt, or the Stanley Fat Max. I mean, those are probably 3 of your best choices. Gonna have the best standout. Like I said, you can either get the Stanley with the magnet or without. They're both, neither one of those have the cheater marks, but you do have it on the DeWalt, and you can get the Milwaukee with it. But yeah, what's your favorite tape measure to use? Is there one that I'm missing that's better than the ones that I've mentioned? Like I said, my favorite is definitely the Milwaukee. The Cobalt's been doing real well, and the Hart was just a cheap buy for work that could get beat around doing tool changes or changing out dies, if you call them dies, around hot presses. Something I wasn't too upset that could get ruined if it did. I had another Come Along brand tape measure that ended up just like getting a tear in it, and eventually it ripped in half. I had another 25-foot Cobalt that also didn't hold up. The whole tape ended up coming out, and that wasn't because I pulled it out like it. I mean, 25 foot. Most things I'm measuring there are under 8 feet. So I think durability wise, it's definitely worth the price to get one of the nicer, more expensive options. Kind of get what you pay for, I think, in a lot of tools. But there are a lot of good, cheap, affordable options. You got $8 on the Cobalt tape measures. This one's held up pretty well. But yeah, let me know. What do you use? Is there something I'm missing?